Okay. And then I'm going to go to Modify Freeze Transformations, clear all that out. Go up to here and rotate it 45 degrees. We talked about that. And we're going to go into rotational values. Am I in rotate? Yeah. Okay, so we want to transform constraint relative and 45 degrees. Here we go. Now we can rotate that 45 degrees and pop it in where we need it to be. Now I need it to be a little bit longer, so I'm going to extend that out a little bit and get that set up. Alright, so I'm going to take that, Control D, move that over, rotate it. There we go, perfect. Get it in the corner. And Control D, move that down. I need to rotate that back. There we go, perfect. Move that down, bottom. And then I need to take this guy up here in the top. Control D, move it down. And then rotate that. There we go. Great. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and loft these two. So select one, select the other, and go to Surfaces, Loft. Okay. Just reset this and loft. And then I'm going to go from this guy, this edge, or this curve again. Now if you can't see the curve, it gets kind of tricky. Let's go to Q so I can get in here. There we go. There's the curve. Select this other curve and hit the G key. Select that curve up here and select this curve down here. Hit the G key. There we go. Perfect. Move that door in a little bit. Boom. Okay, there we go. Select this face and reverse the surface. Go to Surface and go to reverse direction at the very bottom. There we go. And now you're ready to, there's your door, which is really cool. Alright, so that's how you create a door. Now, there may be some gaps in here. I can make those changes too. So what you want to do is you want to turn these surfaces into a polygon. So modify, convert NURBS to polygons. Alright, so you want to go to control points. Best way to do it, tessellate. And there you are. There's your conversion, and then you can smooth it to get exactly how it should look. Okay, and I would recommend smoothing it to 2. Now we talked about this. Remember, you may have to put a control edge close to this edge right here if you combine these together. If you keep them separate, you don't have to. So you can go in here to mesh and smooth it. I would recommend that you save it first. Uh-oh. What happened? I must have selected, I can't tell if I got the polygon. NURBS to poly. That's the polygon. Okay. Whoops. So there it is. Let's call that trim. There we go. And we can smooth that. You can't smooth. It gave me an error because I clicked on the wrong one. There we go. So there is my polygon that you can now lay out, UV it, paint it, add a surface to it, and there it is. Very cool. So I'm not going to show you how to do trim on the other door, right? That makes no sense. So I already did that once. I'm not going to show you how to do trim on a window, right? Trim is the same thing on a door that it is on a window. So no more trim. You know how to do that now. So now we're going to go over to this next door. And it's the same process, exactly the same process that I did with this other door over here. Start with a cube, give it a shape. So basically, you take this over here and do the same exact thing. Okay? So I could go and show you how to extrude these doors. The mutton bars are going to be a little different. So when you shape this, okay? And I'm going to go back to polygon modeling, create a cube, move it over here, and get this set up real quick. And this could easily be your door for another door, but with windows. Okay, so you're going to have two different types of extrudes here. All right, one is going to be for the window, and one is going to be for the panels on the bottom. Well, you know how to do the panels, right? So same exact thing. How I approach this is I need to start with where the windows start. Okay, right, so I do that. And also, once I get that part, that's the outside window, okay? And then I do the same thing with these guys right here. Okay. All right. Because we can't cut the door in half, I suppose we could and model it two different ways. I'm going to ignore these lines for the window. Okay, so now I'm going to go in here and add lines for the window, the inside of the window. So I'm going to concentrate on that. So basically getting these mutton bars, that's what they call them. Okay, cool. That's all done. So I think I got everything in there. And I'll focus on, because I'm not going to focus on these, okay? These are ready to go to extrude, but you have to follow just those areas there. So you're going to extrude these in different ways, meaning that you'll start with the window, okay? Again, I'm going to be a little more cautious now. So what I'll do is from the front view, it gets kind of... if you got a lot of stuff in here, it gets a little bit confusing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the faces that I need to on the outside first. And there's a lot, okay? So you just got to be patient. On the outside first. And then the inside. Then I choose the inside surfaces that I need. Because this is a long process, this takes a little bit longer, but selection is key. So you got that. And so I'm probably going to start off with an extrusion on the outside. Now, if I were to do all of them at once, I suppose that would make more sense. Let's do that. And then we'll just do the extrude. That method is a little bit different, but I'll show you that method. It's a little faster. All right, so I want to follow this. So this window actually pulls out first. So pull out, basically the frame. So Control E, we pull this out. Okay, there may be a little bit of bevel in here, so I pull it out just a little bit like that. And then I do another extrude, so I pull that out as a frame, kind of a framing. And then I do a Control E, and I pull it out again, but this time we're going to bevel this in a little bit. So I'm going to pull that in a little bit. And sometimes that doesn't work very well. See how that kind of does some weird stuff? So I'm going to go back. And now I'm going to hit the R key. This gives me a better control over scale. So I'm going to scale that in a little bit and scale this in so I can get a nice little scale there. I'm doing non-uniform. Okay, like that. And I'm going to go to the front. And this kind of gives me a better look at what I've got going for scale. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now I'm just going to pull that back a little bit. So I'm going to get in there real close, hit the W key, and move that back a little bit, like that. Here we go. That looks good. So now I've got that little area there, that scale in there, okay? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go Control E again. Okay, since I got that window there, so I need to go in a little bit, okay, and push it in. So we're just kind of creating the frame right now. You can see that looks pretty good. I like that. That looks good. All right, so now we got the frame. Now we're going to go and just select these pieces here. Actually, let's go back and select these pieces right here. Okay, like that. And I probably could go to the front view and do this, okay, with a selection like that. So I'm going to select this, the center, not the frame. So now we did the frame. Now we're going to select the center, okay? So now selecting the center, and I'm going to Control E again, and this time we're going to pull that back. Now we're going to add the depth in the window here, like that. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we are going to take that depth. I could probably actually make that look a little more interesting. And extrude that again, Control E. And we'll pull this in. I hit the R key, pull that in a little bit, like that. Just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to bring that up just a little bit like that, so we can get some divisions here. Now I'm going to go Control E, and then I'm going to move that back like that. So I've got a little division there before the window is set. There we go. That just makes it a little more interesting. And then I'm going to go, not the glass, but now just the mutton bars are going to be selected. Now let's make sure where the mutton bars are. And things will be off, will not be aligned properly, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to select this guy or this guy. So that's what I need to make sure I don't select that. And now we're going to work on just the mutton bars, okay? And don't worry if they're not selected proper or they're not lining up with your image. That's okay. We can change that later. All right, so I'm going to select just the bars now. You can see that? Okay, cool. And then I'm going to go Control E, and then I'm going to hit the W key and move those out. Okay? So we got lots of dimension with that window. So we got lots of dimension now with that window. And there it is. That's what it looks like. It looks very, very similar to what we have down here. Okay? Now with this part, these guys right here, you're going to continue just like the other doorway, following these pieces here. So you got a couple more pieces here that's kind of in the way, right? And so we're going to select these pieces, and then you start extruding those, just like we did over here with this other door. Okay, same technique. I'm not going to go through that. Okay, so I'm going to break this into two 15-minute sections. Okay, so you would just go in here and extrude like we did before to create that. Okay. All right. So hopefully that was helpful. That's how you do a doorway. That's how you do a doorway with a window. You do those two separate. So you do the window first, and then you do the other detail of the door. Okay? All right. Okay, that's it.